This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent professors, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
sir.
Yash.
Yes.
Are you here from even last time also?
Yes, sir. I came, sir, and I am presently in IDES, sir. Yes.
IDS is Indian Defence Account Services.
The Defence Estate Services.
State Services. You got into Defence Estate Services last year.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right. This is your third attempt.
Yes, sir.
So the mere fact that you are already in a job and a fairly decent job, it shows that you are intelligent and hardworking officer. So we'll not, and your interview is on 17th.
Yes, sir.
So you are undergoing training or you are yet to join?
So I'm undergoing training, sir. I have joined on 15th of November.
So defense estate means basically the maintenance of cantonments as well.
Yes, sir.
There's a little bit of controversy on that civilians are not being allowed to use the facilities and the infrastructure of cantonment many a times. And thereafter there was some kind of an order issued that all these cantonments will be made available to the civilians as well. But there was an uproar from the armed forces, and again there are some restriction. I do not know what the position is now. What are your views on that?
Indeed, sir. There have been several issues regarding cantonment functionalities. Sir, the issues related to lack of availability for construction permissions are there. Then the civilians are not allowed to have their land rights. They cannot take their home loans inside the cantonment. Then, sir, there are several issues regarding the functioning of the board as well. For example, the board is underfunded. And yes, the government has keeping these things into account and is planning for excision. But again, there are several practical hazards related to that as well.
What is your view on this? Shouldn't we open our cantonment for the civilians also?
Sir, I think in the present scenario, sir, the cantonment area is further subdivided into several pockets. For example, so we have military land, that is A land. Then B land is managed by the cantonment board. And C land is for the private people, sir, for the civilians in general. So we already have this sort of facilities. And sir, I think we cannot open the cantonment area entirely for the civilians.
Why not?
Sir, because the very purpose of establishing cantonment was to insulate the military establishments.
But that was during the British time.
Indeed, sir.
Because at that point in time, the threat perception on the British troops was very high. Yes. But today it is your own guys.
Sir, based on several reports, it has been stated that a several degree of strategic security is still required for the military.
Why do you need strategic security for cantonments? कोई strategic asset हो आपका, कोई border पे कोई कुछ something is there, understandable. Yes. But not here. Like in Delhi cantonment, what is so secret about Delhi cantonment?
Sir, still there are several military assets which are there in the A land. Then several secret projects are there, ammunition
so you
depot.
have some special security for those establishments.
It is the fact, sir, but still to manage a model township, certain degree of restrictions is being imposed in the cantonments.
Why? This is what I'm asking you.
Sir, the ultimate purpose is still, since it is a matter of national security, so that has been the model.
If your Lieutenant General can live in Lutein Bungalow zone, surely the civilians can also stay in cantonment.
Sir, in the present scenario, the civilians are staying, sir. There are around lakhs of population inside the cantonment of Delhi. So the civilians are there, but in several pockets inside the cantonment, these restrictions are being imposed, sir. Particularly in the
don't you think it's a colonial mindset They want to be different. They want to have all the facilities at the cost of exchequer.
So to some extent, I would definitely agree, sir. The colonial hangover is being seen there, and that is why a certain degree of liberalization has been demanded inside the cantonment area. And for that matter,
Do you have this kind of a system anywhere in the world? Do you have cantonment kind of a thing in the United States or UK?
So there are only two other countries which has such systems, sir. That is Bangladesh and Pakistan.
So there must be some reason, because they are part of Indian subcontinent. And at that point of time, the British or the British troop thought that it would be better to have some kind of a extra security for their places of residence. Yes, that's why they did it. Nowhere in the world you have this kind of a facility.
So that is why a middle path is being trying to find out, so that the security interest and commercial interest are equally balanced.
I don't believe in that. I was Additional Secretary Government of India and Special Secretary Defence. So it is nothing but basically you are hanging on to certain perks and facilities, so-called perks and facilities, which are not required in a democratic and independent country like India. You are part of T.S. Chanakya. Yes. Tell me, do you have any historical evidence that Chanakya existed?
Sir, the Arthashastra book has been written
That's
by
a book written by a person called Kautilya.
Yes, sir.
Fine. But whether Kautilya, do you find any reference of Kautilya in history? Any historical evidence to that effect?
So Megasthenes has written it, sir. He has written in the book The Indica, yes, sir.
Has he written anything about Chanakya or Vishnugupta or any idea?
Pardon me, sir, I have not read that book exactly, but sir...
So how do you say that it has the reference in Indica?
Sir, I have read that he has made certain references of his planning, his governance models. So I assume, sir, that he must have written his name as well, but I would have to read more about it, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Yash. I'll request my colleague to...
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yash,
Yes, sir.
your option is sociology, right?
Yes, sir.
So how it will be helpful to you in administration?
So it will be helpful to me in many ways, sir. So firstly, it helps me to develop the right empathy for the people, and that is quite required in public administration. Secondly, sir, it helps to understand the very social
What do you mean by empathy?
Sir, empathy means a sense of feeling which we understand from from the other's point of view. So when sympathy meets action, it leads to empathy, sir.
Then what is the difference between compassion and empathy?
So compassion is the actual action which is being which a person takes place. So that is compassion. So if I feel empathetic to someone and I don't does any action which leads to his betterment, then that is not compassion, sir.
Can you give an example?
Yes, sir. So, sir, suppose if I am coming to this place and I find a beggar who is asking for food, I sympathized with him and ask him to go and study, then that is empathy, sir. But if I make him meet the right NGO, connect him with the right NGO, allow him his education and skill to develop, then that is compassion, sir.
Then what is sympathy?
So sympathy is mere feeling of emotional connect with a person, sir.
Okay. So you have studied from this Maritime University, right?
Yes, sir.
So India has got a huge coastline.
Yes, sir.
And the waters from Red Sea to South China Sea. Those waters have become strategically very important. So how India is ensuring maritime security in these waters?
So we have taken several steps, sir. For example, the Sagar Doctrine is there. Then, sir, the Diamond Necklace Policy is there, which includes Changi Naval Base, then Duqm Port of Oman, etc. So then we are strategically aligning with them through several groupings. For example, Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, Indian Ocean Rim Association. Then, sir, we have recently focused on indigenization of marine assets. For example, INS Vikrant. Recently, the destroyer ship INS Imphal has been commissioned.
So do you think the indigenization effort that you are mentioning,
Yes, sir.
is it giving any results? Like we have defense procurement policy,
Yes, sir.
we have this Make in India in defense procurements. So is it on the ground, is it giving results? What do you think?
Definitely, sir. We have just seen the case last day, sir. So there has been a piracy activity in the Indian Ocean, sir. And INS Chennai went there, intercepted that vessel and safely evacuated 21 personnel. So it is giving results. Even in Madagascar, sir, the Operation Vanilla which took place, be it Operation Cactus in Maldives. So, sir, the things are there, sir. Obviously, there's scope of further improvement in that.
So how about the startup ecosystem that has been developed in defense sector in the past decade?
So we have recently formed IDEX, that is Innovation for Defense Excellence, that is particularly catering for startups and including businessmen from the smaller arena to participate in defense production. Then, sir, there is Srijan portal, which is for procurement of defense assets. So a startup is also catching up, sir, in this sector.
Especially if you have a neighbor like China. How India should manage with its neighbors? What should be the specific steps? What should be the priority points as on date?
So the overall policy should be to have the existing policy, that is neighborhood first. We need to have a sorted and a clear strategy with the neighbors, sir. We have to guard our borders as well, so that the internal security is not jeopardized. And so we can have a case-to-case basis approach. For example, sir, Pakistan, we have a no tolerance to a terrorism policy. Then with Bangladesh, sir, we are presently having a friendly policy. Bhutan is our old age friend. In Nepal, recently the relationship got a bit disturbed, but sir, we are trying to realign with them. So then there are several groupings as well, like 𝐷, so that can be further harnessed to develop the relationship in a better manner.
Okay, fine. So,
My dear friend, SAARC, does SAARC have any relevance today?
So presently it has been a bit in dormant stage because of the involvement of Pakistan and their non-interest in the functioning of it. But sir, in the longer term, I think SAARC may find its own value because of the mere proximity with the Central Asia, sir.
Why we are not able to decrease our dependence on Russian arms imports? Still, we are getting most from Russia.
So there are two reasons for it, sir. So the first is that we have been the traditional buyers from Russia, sir. So we need MRO facilities from them, that is maintenance repair operations. So because of that. And so secondly, Russian defense arsenals are relatively cheaper than the Western arsenals. So that is another reason.
Do you think that in coming 5 to 10 years, India would be able to export a good part of our arms ammunition?
Indeed, sir. So we have recently set the target of 1.75 lakh of the defense production and around 16,000 crore of the defense export for 2024. So, sir, things are taking its shape. The Project 75I, Project 28, Project 17A are there so that we can increase our defense production and find the potential buyers of it. We are finding buyers for LCA Tejas as well in the name of Egypt and Philippines. So, sir, in the coming decade, I think that India will emerge as one of the larger defense exporters.
Don't you think it presents a very contradictory kind of a picture? On one hand, we are buying all Rafale and all great technology from Western countries, and we are selling our cheap and very inferior kind of things to all Africa and Fiji. How do you react to this? If we are that capable, why we are buying Rafale?
Sir, I don't see it as a contradictory stance, sir. I think that yes, when the technology is more sophisticated, then sir, we are importing it from Russia, even France and United States. But sir, the technology which we possess, so we can manufacture it in much cheaper manner. So why not harness them and find potential buyers of it?
On one hand, we are smart enough to produce Tejas and even export that. Yet, out of 7 smartphones sold in this country, out of 10 smartphones sold in the country, 7 are Chinese. So what is that we can make Mangalyaan, Chandrayaan, everything, but mobiles we are getting from China? How is it so?
So it is because China has cracked the economics of scale. So and the semiconductor industry is blossoming there, sir. So that is why they are able to produce and manufacture smartphones and related stuff on large scale, sir. We also lack critical minerals infrastructure and its related facilities. So because of that, we are lagging behind in this sector in particular, sir. But so again, the schemes like Make in India, Assemble in India, then Production Link Incentive Scheme are there so that India can capitalize on this sector as well, sir.
What are the solutions, real solutions to farmers' problems, which are there for past 75 years? What problems do you find? What are the structural basic problems and how we can solve that? Because without that, we can't become Vishwaguru or number 1 or number 2 economy of the world.
So I think there are several problems, sir. So right from the production, farmers are not well aware about the soil qualities and it's the right crop which they need, which they should sow to reap the better results. Secondly, sir, the timely information of the monsoon and the weather patterns are still missing. Thirdly, sir, the cold storage is not there, sir. The supply chain is still a constraint. So even if we produce to the large scale, so as per government's data, the Ministry of Agriculture lose rupees 93,000 crores per annum because of the lack of cold storage and supply chains. So these are the issues, I think, sir. And again, a systematic efforts is required right from the production level. Then we need private investors for marketing purposes. So that will be helpful in solving the problem.
Sir.
Hello, sir.
All right. Can you tell me what are the political and strategic implications of the abrogation of Article 370 and the Supreme Court putting a stamp on it?
Sir, the political implication is that Jammu Kashmir as a state has fully merged into the Union of India, sir, without any special provisions as before. Sir, the decentralized democracy can be furthered into the state. There are several political schemes, for example, right to education, right to information. Then government-led schemes like Ayushman Bharat, which were beforely not present there in the Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is being into the place. Economic implications, I think this step will allow the state to further grow in a better manner, sir. Tourists will be more confident in visiting the place. A better interlinkage can be there. And the employment of the Jammu Kashmiri youth will be done better, sir.
There are news that the PM's visit to the Lakshadweep island also is of very significant importance. Can you highlight a few things that can be an outcome of that visit?
So firstly, sir, the optical cable is being decided, sir. It is around rupees 10,000 crores of a project. So, sir, that will enable better connectivity and internet penetration in the region. Secondly, sir, the fishermen community of the area will get benefit. Then, sir, the tourism sector will also be benefited because of it. And, sir, Lakshadweep is a chain of island which is having a proximity with the Persian Gulf. So, if we develop Lakshadweep, then our trade with the West
what will be the outcome of that visit only? What is in news?
So the exact outcomes, I'm not very sure. I will have to learn about it.
Currently, how can we visit Lakshadweep?
So we have to go to Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and then we have to catch a ship. So before that, sir, we need a clearance from the states. I'm not very sure how the clearance is taken.
Now, if you've seen today's news, also there was a piracy attempt in the Somalian peninsula, near the Somalian peninsula, right? You are from the same field, right? You were in merchant navy. Yes. You were in merchant navy. So tell me, why is that region so prone to piracy?
So the reason is prone to piracy because the Somalia land, sir, that is a barren land subject to desertification, and the people over there are quite poor. Plus, sir, there is a state of lawlessness, and the country does not have a central bank of its own. So how the money flows is not well monitored. So that is why, sir, the group of pirates has emerged over the years. Earlier, shipping companies used to pay them a passing money, but when the IMO got developed, they have restricted it, and as a result, the aggression is taking place, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.